You're listening to the Faeries and Folklore podcast by Ronel. I'm dark fantasy author Ronel Janse van Vuuren. With over a decade of digging around in dusty folklore books, researching creatures of imagination that ignited my curiosity, I'm here to share the folklore in a nutshell and how I reimagined it for my writing in An Origin of the Fae. This is the Faeries and Folklore podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Ronel Janse van Vuuren. You can just call me Ronel. In today's episode, we're continuing our exploration of the Fae realm. This episode is brought to you by my Dark Court Sisters book series, available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. 3 sisters, 3 destinies, 3 ways to destroy the world. Go to ronelthemythmaker.com/Dark Court Sisters series for more. You can now support my time in producing the podcast, researching, writing, and everything else involved by buying me a coffee. This can be a once-off thing, or you can buy me coffee again in the future at your discretion. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Ronel to support me. We're continuing our exploration of the Dark Fae. Today's fairy, Ly-Erg, Folklore in a Nutshell by Ronel. A portent of death, the Ly-Erg stops his victims on pathways near water with the raising of his red hand. A cautious person would retreat, for engaging him in combat means certain death within a fortnight. That red hand of his is supposedly bloodstains from years of kills in combat. Personally, I wonder why he doesn't wash, but that's just me. Some say that this Fae yearns to be a soldier, and that is why he is dressed as one. Who doesn't want to share in the glory of heroes, especially if you're a warrior such as the Ly-Erg? In most tales, there is only one Ly-Erg. In other tales, Ly-Ergs are born from the souls of dead soldiers. Whether one or legion, this is a dangerous type of Fae known for their diminutive size. Let's say a 10-year-old human child. Red palms through which they absorb blood from their enemies. It's not known whether they are feeding on the blood or on the person's life force, like for haunting battlefields, and their allegiance to the unseelie court. Point is, stay clear of this fellow or die. And now for my interpretation of the Fae. In An Origin of the Fae, Ly-Erg. Short, red-palmed Fae who wear the uniforms of English soldiers from the war against Napoleon. Their red palms absorb blood. They prefer human blood, but the compact limits the amount they can get. They are restricted to living in the unseelie realm. There are many of them. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of the Faeries and Folklore podcast and that you've learned something new about fairy. Remember that you can get a transcript of this episode in the description. If you're new to the podcast, why not go and grab your free copy of Unseen, the second book in the fairy tale series, on my website, ronelthemythmaker.com. Loads of folklore, magic, and danger await. Take care.